Hi, this is Donna from Clever Crafting. Thank you for joining me. So tonight I'm going to do this card sketch, and I'm going to include in it that it's got to have an animal and it's got to have an Australian feel. It needs to be a Christmas card, and this is currently a challenge on our Facebook group. So I'll put a link to it below. So when I start to do a challenge, what I like to do is look, well, in this case, we got a layout. So our challenge lady's done a great job with that. And I decide what I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to start this one as a gatefold card, which you don't have to do, but I am, because I think it would be fun. So this paper is double-sided. So I'm just going to stick these two strips that I've already pre-cut on my gatefold card onto the front. And to do that, of course, we're just going to add some glue, which I'm really good at adding loads of glue. And I'm just going to stick them on either side. This is really good because I cut one complete piece and then I cut it in half. So I'm able to pattern match. And by using glue, it means that I can wriggle it around a little bit if I need to. All right, so now that I've done that, I'm just going to stick this onto a piece of white matte card. So this is the other side that I'm going to do. So because it's double-sided paper, which means the two sides go well with one another, so that makes it nice and easy. No thinking about this one. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this and position it on my card base, keeping in mind that we want to be able to open this. It's a gatefold card, so we can only put it on one side. We can only glue it on one side. So all of my features on the front are all going to be stuck on one side, but you'll see that as we go along. So I decided on the angle first, had a quick look at where I wanted to put the glue. You saw me then just double checking it, and I'm popping it down onto the card front. Now that was the piece that's going to be part of my greeting at the bottom, and I just didn't think it was going to have enough room, so I just moved it up. Thankfully I'm using the Smart Art glue, so it dries matte and clear, so you won't notice it, and yep, that'll give me plenty of room for my greeting now. That's fabulous. Okay, so you can see now I need to put the other square, and that's the little greeting part that I've put down there. So it all corresponds with my sketch. Well, it's not my sketch. It was the sketch the gaming lady I said put up. So I'm going to mat this, and this is just going to be plain red. And I'm going to pop that in position as well. So this positioning is not going to be exactly the same as it is on the sketch, but you get the general idea. All the elements will be there. So I think now, yep, just positioning that, checking that, fine, great. So I've stuck those together, and now I've put some double-sided foam tape, so just a layer on. Sorry, this is off screen here, that's my bad. And I've just stuck that once again onto that top element, making sure that it's not going to stick over onto the other side of my gatefold card. Now I've got like the world's cutest koala. So the other two parts of this challenge, they had to be a Christmas card, had to use a sketch, had to have an animal, and it had to be Australian. So I know that the background is not necessarily exclusively Australian. However, my animal is. And he's got that little Santa hat on, so he's very, very cute. So I'm pretty sure that this ticks all of the boxes so far. So what I'm going to do now is add my little circles. So I'm going to take a little bit of poetic license, and I'm not going to make it a solid circle with a mat like I did with the others. You can see that I've cut the ring, so I just used my nesting circles for that. Put two together, with some masking tape, and cut it out to make that frame. And I'm using these pieces left over from a project actually that I did last year. These are little gum leaves. They're tiny little gum leaves, and I decided because they were, so much fun to cut, that I would keep them because I had heaps left over. And now I'm going to use them. I'm going to make a little Christmas wreath as my circle. And this is very Australian because not only has it got any gum leaves, but it's also got little gum nuts on it as well. But you'll see those in a moment. Now, because I've got two layers of foam tape, one behind the koala and one behind the red square there, I need to do this in 3 layers so it can be on top again. So I had some double-sided foam tape that was doubled over on top of one another, and you can see there that I was just adding another layer on top. So I'm cutting some really fine strips of it. Now, you've got to be careful about this because you've got to make sure that you don't stick it on your card, so my gatefold is going to not open. So I've put 3 pieces around at the top, and then now I'm just going to put another piece on the bottom end of it, but I can't actually stick the bottom piece. So you'll see in a minute that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top release paper off the 3 little pieces that I put at the top of my wreath. Oh, doesn't it look cute with the little gum nuts on it? So I'm taking the release paper off those ones at the top, but I'm not going to take the release paper off the one at the bottom because I don't want it to stick. I just want it to support my wreath. And I'm just positioned that, and I've stuck it on those other elements that are there. So just checking, yep, opens, and there's nothing sticky hanging out that's going to get stuck. So I put my greeting, this is out of my new Christmas greetings stamp set that match the universal label dies, and put that on the red base, and there's my card, nice and simple. And pretty sure I fit the challenge, ticked everything off the box. This is how it'll stand. You can't see the front, but that's how it'd stand on someone's mantle. And here's a closer look at it. Don't you just love that little Christmas wreath? It's so cute, not to mention the koala. I hope you've learned something tonight and that you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd love you to give me a thumbs up and even subscribe so you can check out all of the rest of my videos. Don't forget to hop on over to the Facebook page, and maybe you would like to put up a challenge card yourself. And until next time, stay safe and happy crafting.